Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. What's up, wizards? It is Dev, Mtg. We like it at Magic. And did you know that new Phyrexia set is out in paper now? Not new Phyrexia. That's been out in paper for a really long time. You're not watching a YouTube video from the past. No, the new Phyrexia set that's set in Phyrexia. It gets a little confusing, but yeah, that thing's out now. So it's that time again. Aunts and uncles, rather than buying even a single booster pack from this doggone set, we're just going to spend $5 and pretty much get everything we want anyway. By the way, you like Brittany's Valentine's Day present to me? That's pretty nice right there. The work of a true artist. She made this with her own hands and it's beautiful. Applaud her work in the comments section because it's gorgeous. She's really good at what she does. Meanwhile, I'm kind of just okay at my job, but I got to do it. So let's talk about how we blew this Lincoln on Phyrexia. All will be one. And I'm your favorite Magic Channel's favorite Magic Channel. Best believe that the professor go bananas for my deck tech. Well, just like your spinal column and shoulder blades, we are back. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content like this if you're into that sort of thing. And if you're not, then but I guess I couldn't blame you after that last joke. Now, there has to be a first card, and usually I like to start my order with the card that I'm looking to add to my collection the most from the set. It helps if it's really cheap, and this time we had the perfect candidate and had to get my hands on a copy of Glissy Elliott. Melissa Joan Hart over here is a sweet card to have in your collection, even if she's a little bit narrow, but I guess if you're doing black-green elves, like Lathril, there's a bunch of black-green elves commanders, but Lathril's probably my favorite. So if you're doing Lathril, it's a sweet little 3-drop that on the commander table can bust up enchantments and like draw your cards and stuff. It's a sweet card. It's just a sweet card as just like a normal 3-drop in those decks. I guess you could also play Herald. It's a sweet 3-drop in your Herald decks. It's just solid in those black-green elves decks in Commander, but it's a decent little Golgari 3-drop in Cube, but of course those gold slots in Cube are pretty precious, but Glissa could easily take one of those slots. Just a good all-around creature. Now, Alexa Gliss cost me about 80 cents, which is probably actually going to go down over time. I wouldn't be surprised if this was just like a 50 cents card in the next couple of weeks, but I still don't feel like I got shafted too hard. It's a card I'm definitely going to be playing with like a bunch in the future, so less than $1 for a card that's probably going to get a lot of play over time is a good deal to me. But you know what I often do for these videos is I spend like 75 cents on a card and then 30 cents 25 cents, 40 cents. And by the end of the video, I still have a lot of money that I have to spend. I can't spend $5 some of the time. And I usually have to end up buying like a card that's $1.50 or something like that towards the end of the video. Well, I decided this time I'm just going to go all out and spend that like $1.50, $2 towards the beginning of the video on a card that I really like. And it's a card I haven't really talked too much about. It wasn't in my top 25. It wasn't in my sleepers, but I really just generally like Conduit of Worlds. I think it's a sweet Magic card. Apparently other people do too. This thing is $1.85, and I could imagine why. I mean, Commander players probably like having yet another copy of Crucible of Worlds. It's like you have like 4 at least now, something like that. But this is a pretty easy one to cast. And it does so much more than just Crucible. I mean, the ability to like play a card out of your graveyard every turn when you draw dead, or if you just like have better stuff in your graveyard, like that's really, really good. I like the idea of like blasting through, you know, bad draws and land pockets and stuff like that by allowing you to just like instead use your graveyard as your hand. That's what this allows you to do. You use your graveyard as your hand. That's a super powerful ability. So I just really like this thing on the commander table, but I imagine in some cubes it could do some work too. Probably won't go too many places in standard, but there's a reason the card's $1.85. Anytime you basically reprint Crucible of Worlds, people are going to pay attention, and I did. Then I bought a Kaya for 45 cents. This was less than 2 American quarters to own this card, and I thought like that was a pretty good deal because this card is awesome. I'm not really sure what I'm going to actually do with it though. I don't think that it's super cubable. Again, those gold slots are precious. This costs all the mana in the world, and it's a little much once it actually does come down, but I guess it's a good payoff for actually being able to cast it. So there's that. But in Commander, it's probably also not super great. I might be wrong on that. Hexproof is good, but you've got a bunch of other opponents that can just attack into it and kill it. So it's just not. Planeswalkers in general aren't great in Commander. So again, I'm not sure what I'm doing with this card, but I gotta say, I've always liked just like Orzhov million removal spells, 1 million removal spells. I just like those decks, even though they generally aren't super great in practice, right? They don't have a whole lot of ways of drawing cards or getting real value outside of like 1-for-1 removal and the occasional sweeper. And they almost never have a good win condition. But Kaya is the best win condition for a deck like that since Ugin the Spirit Dragon. So paying attention to this card in Standard, and I think it's pretty good there, but I'm not actually sure I'll be able to play it. I just wanted a copy because I think it's a sweet Planeswalker, and I've always liked Kaya. Kaya's like one of my favorite Planeswalkers, even though I don't follow the story too closely. I just kind of like her overall vibe. I think she's cool. So I like Kaya in general, and you guys know how much I love Orzhov. So when I saw that this was 45 cents, I figured I'd snag one. And then I bought a Norn's Wellspring for 26 cents. As you know, I am engaged currently to Ellis Ilcor. I know that my wife made these for me for Valentine's, but I'm still, we have an understanding. I am engaged to Ellis Ilcor, so I figured this would be a nice addition to the Commander deck because, you know, creatures are dying a lot in that deck if you're doing it right, at least. If you know what you're doing, a couple of dudes will die every now and again. So I thought this was a sweet little card draw piece because, like I just said, Orzhov can sometimes have a problem drawing cards. So this is a nice little way to fill back up on gas every now and again and draw a card on average every turn or 3. So I like it in an LSO Core Commander deck, and I actually have one of those. So when there are real, like, cheap, good additions to it, I tend to pay attention to those too. So I picked up a copy of Wellspring. And then I picked up a copy of Serum Sovereign. I didn't even know this card was in the set. I don't know that it actually is in the main set. If you look at the set number there, you can tell it's not. It looks like it's part of the intro packs, welcome decks. I don't know what they call them nowadays, but they each get a rare that you can't get out of booster packs. And this guy looks really sweet to me. This is cubable. I don't think I'll do anything else with it besides that, but I'm always looking for decent blue creatures for the cube that can actually end the game because there are surprisingly few of those, and the ones that do exist are not fair. So this actually looks like pretty fair and decent. All that for 25 cents, and it's probably going to stay that forever. It's a bulk rare for sure, but it's still kind of cool for the cube, so I'm talking excitedly about it. But then I picked up a copy of Thrun. This was 53 cents, slightly more than 2 quarters, but I still felt like it was worth it. Again, specifically for cube. I don't have any Commander decks that I want to slot this into or anything, but I think it's a really cool 5-drop for cube. It does kind of have the same problem as Kaya, you know, like once it's down, how do you deal with it? And is that super healthy? I guess we'll find out. I mean, I really don't like having Troll Ascetic in cubes. This is an age-old question, apparently, for cubists like me. Is Troll Ascetic not too good for the cube, but too annoying for the cube? See, that's a big reason why you might not include cards a lot of the time. And I don't put Troll Ascetic in my cubes because it's too annoying. It really is. I hate playing against that card. Everyone hates playing against that card, but something like Thrun, it comes along a little bit farther on the curve. The game has developed a lot more by then, so the fact that it's really annoying and hard to get rid of might actually not be as big of a deal some of the time. So I kind of weirdly look at this as a fixed Troll Ascetic, as strange as that viewpoint is. But I also like that it's uncounterable. That's great. I love anything that hoses counterspells in my cube. If you ever come play my cube, you'll note that counterspells are there, but not actually super powerful because I've got a few different effects that tend to hose them. And anytime a new one comes out like this, I pay attention to that too because I really like having cards like this just in my cube generally. And then we got an Urabrask Forge. Fortunately, I was able to get one of these for 31 cents, and I think that might go north here. This says oil counters, but it could be the only oil counter thing in your cube, and it wouldn't be weird. You could just Sharpie out the word oil. The card would basically read the same way. Put a counter on it every turn. So just really sweet in like artifact decks or aristocrats decks, sacrifice decks, and stuff like that. Of all shades, all stripes in Commander, and again, very cubable. So 31 cents I felt like was a steal for this card because eventually it's going to get heavily played. At least at my house it will be. Before too long it's going to have those little flecks of unknown mystery material on it because it's been rolling around in your backpack for too long. You guys know what I'm talking about. Real Magic players know what I'm talking about. Anyway. Then we got a Vindictive Flamestoker for 32 cents. This, mostly for the cube. Again, I'm a cube person. You may have heard me say in like limited set reviews or like when I'm doing spoiler videos from time to time, I will say to your face, I don't like one-drops in Limited, but that's not actually true. I don't like bad one-drops in Limited, and most of them are bad. But one-drops that have tons and tons of potential value a little bit later in the game, those are my jam, kid. Again, all they really want you to do is play spells. Simple as. So super sweet little card here because you're going to play spells in your Magic deck. You're going to do that. And especially in like a blue-red deck that you put together in the cube, you're going to play a lot of spells very quickly. So this can draw you 4 cards for 1 mana, like with relative ease, I think a lot of the time. And as far as 1-drops in cube go, I think this is way up there with your potential choices. I mean, it's not the most aggro creature for red in the world, but as far as 1-drops for red that you actually want to play that aren't aggro, I think it's like in the top 3. But I bought 1 more card, a total of, I believe, 9 cards on this order. 3, 6, 9. Damn, girl, fine. Hey, what you sucking to me? One more. Okay, so we bought Vron was the last card. Yeah. I'm not going to not buy this card. I know some of you who know me were probably sitting there like, did Dev not buy Vron? That's weird. That's out of character. No, I bought. He's probably not your commander, but he's in the 99 of every other commander deck that ever had a Blood Artist in. And I think it felt like 37 cents. Probably a good deal, especially once this set is gone and out of print and this dude never gets reprinted again or whatever. Commander players are probably going to come looking for him. But hey, you may have noticed by the runtime of this video that we are not actually done yet. There's still some video left here. That's because I'm going to do something weird and just put the coffee break at the end. We're going to put the coffee break at the end of this video because there's still a couple of things that I wanted to point out that I noticed while I was rifling through the Tacog player looking at prices for this set. First of all, some of them are intimidating. Some of the prices are extremely high for this set, and that's because there's a million versions of everything, Planeswalkers and Elish Norns and Dominuses and all that kind of stuff, and some of these just got ridiculous. I wasn't aware that there are, 12 to 15 different cards in the set that are technically all over $100, some well over $100 at this point. Some of them are the oil slick foils, which I have been assured are very, very rare. And then there's an Elish Norn that is something called Step and Complete, which is it's a pretty dumb combination of words. Step and complete. What does that mean? Anyway, I just wanted to point that out because I thought that was silly. I just thought that was very silly and that you should know that and we can all laugh about it. But anyway, now I'm going to look at the top 5 most expensive normal cards in the set because I think this is fun information too. Nothing that has like a weird border or a different art treatment or blah, blah. No, just a Magic card that looks like a Magic card. What are the most expensive cards like that in this set? Well, Elish Norn, you might think, is number 1, and you'd be right. It's $38 for a copy of this card right now. Just a normal, non-foil, no funny stuff going on, alternate no, just normal Magic card. $38. And by the way, if I was going to pick which version of Elish Norn I wanted the most, it would be this one. It would just be the normal. I like normal. The different versions are fine. If you like them, I'm not like pooping on them or anything. It's not for me. That's a normal looking Magic card. It's up my alley. Aside from that, Mondrak is next on the list. You take a $5 dip here, but Mondrak is still $33, which is kind of crazy that there's a $38 card in the set and a $33 card in the set. This is where it gets interesting. Okay, you could have guessed Elish Norn. You could have guessed Mondrak, but what are the next 3 most expensive, just normal printings of a Magic card in this set? What if I told you that Sword of Gruul, Sword of Forge and Frontier, was $20. $20 even, sometimes a little bit more for this card right now, and it's the 3rd most expensive normal printing in the set. Would that be a little bit surprising to you? It was to me at least, and this might be even more surprising. What is the 4th most expensive card in this set? Sitting at $18 right now? Icramoon Gauntlet. What? This card is $18 right now for just a normal one. And then rounding everything out is Vraska. Vraska's basically the most expensive Planeswalker in this set at $15. But just to round things out here and just to continue having fun, there's 5 more prices I want to point out, and I've got these labeled as just other noteworthy prices because there's a few of them in this set that I want you to know, like Phyrexian Arena. This card's $2. Card's $2 even to put into your commander deck with really cool art, by the way. Vraska versus Jace, and it's tragic, and it's, it's a cool version of the card, and it's only $2 right now. Most other versions of Phyrexian Arena run at least $8. So if you want a nice little 75% cut on the price of a Phyrexian Arena, maybe grab one. Also wanted to just say every Fastland that's in the set. Like if you bought one of each of the new duels that are in this set, it would cost you a total of about $7.50. If I'm not mistaken, the Rakdos one is the most expensive at like $2. And the Selesnya one is the least expensive at like 75 cents. But they all range somewhere between there. So if you're looking for a copy or two of those for Commander decks, they're really cheap. They're super, super cheap. And I should point that out. That is all the things that I wanted to bring up. This time, let me know how you felt about the format, because not only did we talk about the cards that we actually bought, but then I just hijacked the rest of the video to talk about a bunch of other stuff. So let me know if you like that or not. Make sure to let me know down there in the comment section how you'd have spent that $5 and what cards you want the most from the set and all that. And like the video on your way out. Just before you hit the lights, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff for me if you would, please. Thank you. But anyway, donezo for this onezo. I'm told there's some sort of game tonight. We'll probably upload right in the middle of that, but it'll be fine. You'll watch it. You're watching right now, so we did it. But anyway, just let me know how you felt about it, and I'll catch you cats later. I'm Deb from The Place. Thanks for watching, Wizards. Spread love and be kind.